This is the story of Sequoia Lamar and Deasia Morris, a popular couple on TikTok and YouTube, whose lives were tragically cut short in a senseless act of violence. Sequoia, a 20-year-old dancer and hair braider, and her 24-year-old girlfriend Deasia shared their life, love, and adventures with their growing audience. Their social media presence was filled with joyful moments, dance videos, and glimpses into their fun-loving relationship. Sadly, their lives would come to a tragic end. Their alleged killer was their own neighbor, Ty Deshaun Stevens. What started as a dispute over something as trivial as tires escalated into a deadly confrontation that left Sequoia and Deasia with 13 gunshot wounds between them. But why did this argument turn so deadly? Was there more to the story than what was first reported? And will the man accused ever face the full weight of justice? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Huntsville, Alabama. 20-year-old Sequoia Lamar was a multi-talented young woman with a bright future ahead of her. She was a gifted dancer who showcased her skills on TikTok and other social media platforms, captivating audiences with her energy and precision. Dancing was more than just a hobby for Sequoia, it was her passion and creative outlet. In addition to her talent for dance, she was also an exceptional hair braider. She had the rare ability to braid her own hair, as well as style others with intricate and beautiful designs. Sequoia was growing as a social media influencer, vlogging her daily life for her followers.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be little snippets of my birthday vlog. So this is me before I get my hair done. It's nappy and everything else, but I'll be back when it's time to get washed and everything. Okay, y'all, it's the next day. I vlogged a little bit last night, but I had a good time at my dinner, and now I'm heading in the nail shop to get my nails done. Okay, and I'll be back with y'all. What's up, y'all? I'm back, and y'all, I had a stressful ass time in the nail shop because my fucking card was declining. I'm like, how's declining with money on there? Anyways, I ended up paying all in cash when that was not my plan, even though like I still got money, but I just like shit to go, you know how I plan to do it or whatnot. And y'all look at the nails, get into it, yeah, period. I had to give y'all a close-up on the nails.
Sequoia also had a deep love for cooking and often showcased her culinary skills on social media.
Today, your girl's finna be doing a cooking video for y'all, period. I'm finna show y'all how I make the noodle bowl, but I ain't using no noodles, okay? Y'all gonna see how it's gonna be at the end. But right now, I'm finna show y'all what it's looking like, okay? Now I got the eggs boiling. I got the corn and the potatoes boiling. Let me show y'all. Hold on, my camera getting. But my potatoes is at the bottom. Y'all see? Yeah, okay. So now, okay, y'all. So right now I'm just waiting for my potatoes, corn, and eggs to get done. And then I'm gonna start on my sausage, and I'm gonna show y'all how I season it. I already cut them up. They beef smoked sausage. I don't put too much, but I put enough. I use Obey because it's only right, okay? I just do a little, you know, 1, 2. Okay, y'all, this is the final result. Ooh, period.
She enjoyed trying new recipes, experimenting with different flavors, and sharing her creations with her followers. From comforting soul food classics to innovative dishes, she took pride in making meals that brought people together. Cooking was not just a skill for Sequoia, it was another form of self-expression, a way to share her love and creativity with those around her. Sequoia was in a relationship with 24-year-old Deasia Monique Morris. Deasia was affectionately known as Mo or Deed, was born on March 20, 1999. She attended J.O. Johnson High School and worked at Aeropostale. Together, Sequoia and Deasia were a fun-loving and adventurous couple. Their relationship was filled with laughter, shared dreams, and an unbreakable bond. Their love story was one of joy and resilience, a relationship that inspired those who knew them. They navigated life's ups and downs together, always standing by each other's side. Sequoia and Deasia also had a YouTube channel where they engaged with their audience by answering fan questions and allowing their followers to get to know them on a more personal level.
Your first question is, where's the craziest place you had sex?
Craziest place?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I had sex at, craziest place, because I'm big on, letting my girl have her privacy and letting her be comfortable and shit like that. So I'll say probably school. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. But yeah, school.
Okay. Okay. That's your answer, so I'm not even gonna answer you something. Okay. Have somebody ever just turned you off to the point where you're like, ew?
Hell yeah. Every bitch I fucked when I was younger. Ew. I was just bored.
Just a little hit and quit. Okay.
They shared behind-the-scenes moments of their life together, from their daily routines to relationship advice, creating a strong and supportive online community. Their channel was a space where they celebrated love, joy, and authenticity, making their viewers feel like they were part of their journey. Their chemistry and humor made them relatable, and their openness resonated deeply with their growing fan base.
Okay, the question is, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Farting in class thinking it was gonna be silent, but the bitch laughing.
You want your question first?
Yeah.
Her question is, what's the freakiest thing you ever done? And you gotta say it.
ass. She want me to say it so bad. Like,
No, I don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
you rock her late ass before. So, there you go.
No, I don't. And I'm finna get that out.
On Tuesday, August 29, 2023, their love story came to a tragic and horrifying end in their Huntsville home. The alleged killer was their own neighbor, Ty Stevens. What started as a dispute over something as trivial as tires escalated into a deadly confrontation that left Sequoia and Deasia with 13 gunshot wounds between them.
Well, just in the last hour, we have learned more details about the deadly shooting on Bonnell Drive in Huntsville earlier today.
Huntsville police identified the two victims of that shooting to News 19, saying they are still searching for the person responsible for those shootings.
Now, police identified the people killed in the shooting as Deasia Morris and Sequoia Lamar. Huntsville police say that officers responded to calls about the shooting around 10:40 this morning, and at this time, police have not released a lot of details about the suspect they are looking for, but investigators believe it's an isolated incident.
The crime, which happened in broad daylight, sent law enforcement officers on an intense search for the suspect, their neighbor 23-year-old Ty Stevens. The events that led up to this double homicide were seemingly trivial. Witnesses and investigators later revealed that Sequoia, Deasia, and Ty had been involved in an ongoing dispute, reportedly over something as minor as car tires. It was this disagreement that escalated into an argument that would turn deadly. The first reports of gunfire came in around 10:40 a.m. that Tuesday morning. Residents called 911, reporting multiple gunshots echoing through the apartment complex. When officers from the Huntsville Police Department arrived at the 4400 block of Bonnell Drive, they discovered the bodies of Sequoia and Deasia lying near their apartment, both fatally wounded. According to the coroner's report, both women had been shot multiple times, a total of 13 rounds were fired between them. Within hours of the shooting, Huntsville police identified Ty Stevens as the primary suspect. They obtained 2 capital murder warrants against him and immediately issued a "Be on the lookout" alert, warning that he was armed and dangerous. SWAT teams and police officers swarmed the area, searching for any sign of him. At one point, a SWAT vehicle was spotted near the crime scene, suggesting that officers may have initially believed he was still in the area. However, Ty had already fled. Investigators suspected he was either in Anniston, Alabama or Columbia, South Carolina. The U.S. Marshals Service Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force took over the manhunt, tracking his movements across state lines. For a week, authorities searched for Ty. His vehicle, a silver car with an unknown tag, was being tracked. While the police had no immediate confirmation of his whereabouts, intelligence led them to Anniston, Alabama. On Wednesday, September 6, 2023, exactly 1 week after the murders, U.S. Marshals found Ty in Anniston and took him into custody without incident. Ty was swiftly transported back to Madison County, where he was booked into the Madison County Jail under 2 capital murder charges. He was held without bond as investigators continued gathering evidence for prosecution. Ty's first court appearance was scheduled for September 20, 2023, for a felony examination. The judge would determine if there was enough evidence to send the case to a grand jury. However, given the overwhelming evidence, including eyewitness testimony, forensic analysis, and the fact that Ty fled the scene, there was little doubt that the case would proceed to trial.
A man accused in a double murder from 2023 was denied a second requested bond this afternoon. Ty Stevens faces 2 capital murder charges for shooting and killing 2 of his neighbors. WAFO 48's Noah Cow was in court today and has the latest.
Ty Stevens was back in court today, with his attorneys looking for the judge to grant him bond this time around. Stevens was initially denied bond a year and a half ago, and as his family watched today, the judge came to the same decision. Stevens was indicted on 2 capital murder charges last October after being accused of shooting and killing 24-year-old Deja Morris and 20-year-old Sequoia Lamar, both of whom were his neighbors. Investigators believe the 3 were in an argument about tires, which led up to the shooting. Evidence shows Stevens allegedly shot the victims 13 times combined. Stevens will stay in jail without bond until his murder trial, which is scheduled for August of next year.
As expected, on November 1, 2023, the case was formally presented to the grand jury, which would decide on indictments for capital murder. At this stage, the prosecution was preparing for what was expected to be a high-profile trial. Since Alabama allows the death penalty for capital murder convictions, this case could lead to either life imprisonment without parole or a death sentence for Ty. At the time of the court proceedings, Ty remained in custody without bond. The deaths of Sequoia and Deasia shattered their families. Sequoia's mother, Shamika, spoke out about the unbearable grief of losing her daughter. She described Sequoia as a bright, caring young woman who had dreams and aspirations that were cut short. In an emotional plea, Shamika asked for justice for her daughter and her daughter's girlfriend, Deasia. Deasia's brother, Dantes, described the shock of receiving the phone call about his sister's death. "It didn't register in my head," he said in an interview. He later revealed that he found out through a Facebook Live video, a horrifying and traumatic way to learn about a loved one's murder.
It's been a devastating time for these families, and it was tragic when they got the news that Deasia Morris and Sequoia Lamar were shot and killed. It happened Tuesday, August 29th, just after 10 a.m.
Nobody believed it. Like, when she called me and she told me that they found Dee passed away and Sequoia passed away, it didn't register in my head up until we saw Facebook and there was a live on Facebook of their bodies on the floor. Yeah, so it was kind of hard to find out that way.
It's been a painful month for the Morris family as they deal with the painful reality of never seeing their loved one again.
She was like our Michael Jackson, you know? She was the star of the family. She was the star of the Fab Five, you know? She's a family-oriented person. So is Sequoia as well. They were both bubbly, goofy, funny little girls, you know?
Sequoia Lamar's mother says it's been an incredibly difficult time for their family.
Me and my family, my boys, mother, dad, husband, everybody, we suffered a great loss. We really just trying to pick up the pieces since the funeral and everything. It's been really hard and a tough struggle dealing with this.
King says her and her daughter were very close.
Very talented. She was very sweet, and her and her friend Deasia did not deserve this. And I just ask for you guys to keep us in prayer, and I just want justice for my daughter and Deasia as well.
It's been a tough past month for both victims' families as they mourn their losses and figure out their new normal. As for suspect tied to Sh0t Stevens, he remains in the Madison County Jail without bond, and his court date is set for November 1st.
Both families struggled with funeral expenses. A GoFundMe campaign was launched to raise funds for Sequoia's burial, with a goal of $8,000. By the time of reporting, it had raised $3,980. The Huntsville community mourned the tragic loss of two young women. Friends and loved ones left messages on their obituary tribute walls, expressing grief, love, and disbelief. The pain was evident in every message. People recalled the laughter, kindness, and energy Sequoia and Deasia brought into their lives. The crime also sparked conversations about gun violence and domestic disputes in the community. Many questioned how a minor argument could escalate into such a violent tragedy. Others pointed out the ease with which Ty fled, raising concerns about law enforcement response times. As of now, Ty remains in the Madison County Jail, awaiting trial. His fate rests in the hands of the court system, but the families of Sequoia and Deasia continue to fight for justice. They hope for a conviction that will ensure he is held accountable for the pain and loss he caused. This tragedy should never have happened. The senseless loss of Deasia Morris and Sequoia Lamar over an argument is heartbreaking and unimaginable. No dispute should ever escalate to such violence, and it's devastating that their lives were taken so soon. My condolences to their friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.